You're watching WVVA TV 6, Bluefield.
Bluefield. You're watching the news leader for the two Virginias. This is WVVA Television News 6.
Good evening, everyone. A successor has been named to fill the position of Soviet leadership vacated by Yuri Andropov.
This is WVVA, Bluefield, West Virginia. Live from WVVA, Micah Johnson, meteorologist Tom Tesselmeyer, and Duncan Armstrong on sports. This is NewsCenter 6.
Good evening and welcome to NewsCenter 6. A memorial for the 256 military and crew members who died last week in that DC-8 crash in Newfoundland.
This is Southern West Virginia and Southwestern Virginia's news leader. NewsCenter 6 tonight with Bill Hoffman, meteorologist Chris Krumlis, and Chris Woodlitz, sports.
Good evening, I'm Bill Huffman, and this is NewsCenter 6 tonight.
Covering the two Virginias, this is WVVA Television. Now, live from WVVA, Bill Huffman, Sherry Hayes, Stan Sweet's weather, and Woody Morgan with sports. This is NewsCenter 6 at 6.
Good evening. A local distributing company will have to shell out more than $3 million, the result of a 1988 accident that killed two Bluefield State nursing students.
Bill, that's the...
Covering the two Virginias, this is WVVA Television. Now, live from WVVA, Bill Huffman, Sherry Haig, Stan Sweet's weather, and Woody Morgan with sports. This is NewsCenter 6 at 6.
Good evening. Sherry Haig is on vacation. Virginia schools heard, in fact, today what had been rumored for months.
Loretta, that is that major cuts are coming and coming with the new fiscal year.
A Television 6. Now, live from WVVA, Loretta Budd, Stan Sweet's weather, and Woody Morgan with sports. This is NewsCenter 6 tonight.
With less than 2 weeks before the UN deadline for Iraqi troops to withdraw, no indication that President Bush will back down.
Covering the two Virginias, this is WVVA Television 6. And now live from WVVA, Barrett Van, Loretta Budd, Stan Sweet's weather, and Woody Morgan with sports. This is NewsCenter 6 tonight.
Good evening. A man convicted of killing his teenage wife wants an appeal.
Michael Eugene Neal is asking the state Supreme Court to hear his case.
This is WVVA Television 6. Underwriting for the closed captioning of NewsCenter 6 is provided by ENT Hearing Services of Bluefield, Robert B. Miller, M.D. Live from the region's #1 news team, Sherry Haig, Kevin McGraw, Stan Sweet's weather, Woody Morgan sports. This is NewsCenter 6 at 6.
Union supporters rally in Washington today.
It's the kickoff to a long weekend of Labor Day demonstrations.
Good evening. Sherry is off tonight. UMW President Rich Trumka is warning coal operators not to hire replacement workers.
And that's just the beginning of what Trumka had to say today, as Barrett Van reports.
This is a NewsCenter 6 special report.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kevin McGraw here to bring you more information as it becomes available regarding the blizzard that we in the two Virginias are in the midst of right now. There is very, very severe weather out there. We do recommend from all of the sources that we have, police and emergency personnel, to please stay inside.
This is NewsCenter 6 tonight.
They were back at the bargaining table.
But the media blackout concerning the coal talks still stands.
Good evening. UMW spokesman Jim Grossfeld would only say the talks are continuing.
The talks.
This is News Center 6 tonight.
Good evening. One person has admitted guilt in the bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building. Michael Fortier has agreed to testify for the government. In exchange, he's being charged with lesser crimes.
Live from the region's #1 news team, Sherry McGraw, Kevin McGraw, Stan Sweets Weather, Woody Morgan Sports. This is News Center 6 at 6.
Good evening. Another weekend, another winter storm watch.
And this could prove maybe to be the nastiest one yet.
Live from the region's #1 news team, Barrett Van and Loretta Budd with the news, Glenn Willie's weather, and Mark Brown with sports. This is News Center 6 tonight.
Good evening. An amazing turnaround for the once troubled Workers' Compensation Fund.
Live from the region's #1 news team, Loretta Budd with the news, Glenn Willie's weather, and Mark Brown with sports. This is News Center 6 tonight.
Good evening. Help is on the way to fix the flood-damaged roads across West Virginia.
NBC for the 2 Virginias, WVVA Television 6. This is News Center 6 tonight.
Good evening. Parking problems continue in Beckley.
And that has some downtown business owners very nervous about what that means to their bottom line.
Live from the region's most watched news team, this is NBC 6 at 11.
Keeping your yard safe, that's tonight's top story. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leanne Woodbury. Well, with all the recent rains, conditions have been ideal for mosquitoes.
Live from the region's most watched news team, this is WVVA News Today.
Tazewell community officials are taking action against prescription drug abuse through the American Medicine Chest Challenge.
Live from the region's most watched news team, this is WVVA News at noon.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us this afternoon is Executive Director of United Way of the 2 Virginias, Michelle Williams. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And we're going to talk about something that it's a pretty big deal around here. A lot of people are probably unsure what they're doing.
This is WVVA News at 11.
Tazewell County officials are taking action against prescription drug abuse.
Here for you in Hannawalt, West Virginia. Live from the region's most watched news team, this is WVVA News at 6.
A man trapped after his car falls on top of him in his driveway. Good evening, I'm Greg Carter.
And I'm Eric Green.
This is WVVA, here for you. You're watching WVVA Today, voted best morning show in West Virginia.
This morning, we take a look at those latest COVID-19 numbers.
And the Ku Klux Klan recruitment materials that have been showing up in yards of one community have left some residents unsettled.
Good morning, and thanks for choosing us on this Monday, June 29th. I'm Jill Croce.
And I'm Joshua Bolden.
Meteorologist Brendan Lawson, he's with us this morning. And Brendan, looks like some folks are getting low visibility today, right?
Yeah, this morning at least we're seeing that low visibility out there, especially.
Live in HD with Joshua Bolden, Jill Croce, and meteorologist Catherine Maxwell. You're watching WVVA Today.
WVVA, here for you with Joshua Bolden, Christina Cass, and meteorologist Colin Rogers. You're watching WVVA News early today.
5:30 on the dot. Personal property taxes could be on the rise for residents in Tazewell County. Our Taylor Hankins explains this morning.
And the winner of the brand new Chevy Spark LS is in Ramey Drive of the Week contest is revealed.
Yeah, exciting. I'm finally excited to see who won. We talked about it for 3 months. And
we've been waiting since June 1st.
Yes.
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News at noon starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Joshua Bolden. We have a very busy show. We begin with 2 double shooting suspects, Terry James Bandy and Ashley Lynn Mayfield.
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News at 5 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Melinda Zosh. Things are going to get really busy here in Mercer County. Jennifer Roberts is on I-77 with more about how the new road project could impact your drive. Hi, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you, Melinda.
WVVA, here for you with Melinda Zosh, Jared Klein, and Chief Meteorologist Catherine Thompson. You're watching WVVA News at 5.
A popular giveaway at WVVA has returned.
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News at 6 starts now.
Concerned parents and students gathered outside of a local high school today in a show of solidarity against bullying, only days after a second high school student took her own life. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Hamilton.
And I'm Melinda Zosh. According to the Jason Foundation, a suicide...
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News at 10 on the CW starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Melinda Zosh. Martin Staunton has the evening off. Felony murder. It's what the now former Atlanta police officer...
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News Weekend starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Brown, and this is WVVA News Weekend at 6. We begin tonight with news of 2 individuals arrested for murder in Raleigh County. Detectives with the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office arrested...
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News Weekend starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Brown, and this is WVVA News Weekend at 11.
This is WVVA News, here for you, live in HD. WVVA News at 11 starts now.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Robert Castillo. Martin Staunton is off tonight.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA Early Today starts now.
Continuing coverage this morning on officers fighting for better pay in the city of Beckley, West Virginia. WVVA's Galen Markham brings you more from the latest Common Council meeting. Plus, a local fire department in our region is celebrating, get this, 60 years of serving our communities. We take a look back at its storied history this morning. And with that, folks, we say top of the morning, top of the hour. So good to be with you on this 26th of July. I'm Joshua Bolden.
And I'm Christina Cass.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA Today starts now.
This morning, we check in with local leaders and crews as they work to make Glenwood Lake look more like its former self. We have an algae update for you.
Plus, Beckley's Babe Ruth team claimed the regional title and is now heading to the World Championships. We're going to catch up with them before the big game.
With that, folks, last half hour of WVVA Today on this 26th of July. I'm Joshua Bolden.
And I'm Christina Cass.
And we've got more sunshine on the way.
That is right. More sunshine and... just drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
You know that big old pink gallon that you had?
I gotta bring it back out.
Bring it back out this week.
This is a WVVA News Update.
Hey there, good morning to you. A stalwart of public service in the state of West Virginia, Joe Firedog Christ, has passed away. Chris served our communities in various capacities over the years. An outpour of love, support, and reflection continues to flow on social media. 45 of his 58 years were in emergency response, in particular as fire chief of Anstead Fire Department. Fire service was not his only call to duty. The retired sergeant protected and served the citizens of Raleigh County at the sheriff's office for 2 decades. He also held positions as county fire coordinator for Fayette and Raleigh counties and president of the Fayette County Firefighters Association.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at Noon starts now.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Joshua Bolden. Thank you for tuning in to WVVA News at Noon. Breaking this afternoon out of Mercer County, West Virginia, a disturbing story of possession of inappropriate material involving children. Alexander Kersey, 22 years old, and Marcus Lambert, 31, both of Bluefield, West Virginia, were arrested on sexual abuse charges on Tuesday, July 25th. According to the Mercer County Sheriff's Office, Kersey was charged with possession of child sexual abuse material.
Coming up tonight, one local scout earns every badge available at this year's National Jamboree. And in the Commonwealth, state agencies are now investigating after a man claims to find oil on his property. And later on, a supposed plea agreement for President Biden's son Hunter falls through in court today. That and more coming up.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 5 starts now.
Hello and thank you for joining us today. I'm Ben Schwartz. Welcome to WVVA News at 5. Now, first at 5, a man accused of second-degree murder has a trial date set now for October 3rd.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Schwartz.
And I am Martin Staunton. Welcome to WVVA News at 6. We begin in Mercer County this evening with the arrest of a pair of men accused of possessing child pornography and solicitation of a minor via computer, and there are multiple counts. 22-year-old Alexander Kersey and 31-year-old Marcus Lambert, both of Bluefield, West Virginia, were arrested yesterday on
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 11 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Martin Staunton.
And I'm Ben Schwartz. Welcome to WVVA News at 11. A $100 million economic development project is moving forward in Mercer County. The County Commission held a public hearing on the topic this afternoon. That's before approving an economic development district off I-77.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA Early Today starts now.
It's a throughway not taken for granted. The Grant Street Bridge reopens to the public today, and we're going to bring you details ahead of that ceremony. And a local dance company nearly sells out the historic Granada Theater over the weekend as they brought the holiday spirit to the city of Bluefield. But first, good morning, and thank you for waking up with us on this December 18th, 2023. I'm Taylor Hankins. Joshua Bolden has the week off. Now, the holidays are truly upon us, and a new
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA Today starts now.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Tazewell County, with a pint-sized Hallmark movie sitting inside one of our local antique malls. Plus, local law enforcement on both sides of the border are giving back to our community's kids. We're going to show you how. But first, good morning. Thank you for waking up with us on this December 18th, 2023. Joshua Bolden has the week off. I'm Taylor Hankins.
And I'm meteorologist Jeffrey Houle.
Jeff, let's get straight to the weather.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at Noon starts now.
Hey everybody, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on WVVA News at Noon. I'm Taylor Hankins. New today, Tazewell County has been approved for a grant of up to $800,000 for a meatpacking facility from the Virginia Coalfield Economic Development Authority. According to Visita, the new plant is expected to signify aid in local farmers in the region of Visita.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 5 starts now.
Hello and thank you for joining us today. I'm Ben Schwartz. Welcome to WVVA News at 5. We will begin in Mercer County, where the long-awaited Grant Street Bridge is open.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 5 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Schwartz. Welcome to WVVA News at 6. Martin Staunton has the evening off. We will begin with weather here in the Two Virginias. We've seen winter weather all throughout the day with cold temperatures.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News on the CW starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Martin Staunton. Welcome to WVVA News at 10 on the Two Virginias CW. We begin with elected leaders in the Two Virginias reacting to the bombshell decision that blew former President Donald Trump right off the ballot in Colorado.
Live from the Two Virginias news leader, WVVA News at 11 starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for staying up a little later with us after that football game. I am Martin Staunton. This is WVVA Weekend News at 11, the late Sunday edition. Tonight, we begin with the weather outlook for the two Virginias. Winter weather advisories.
You're watching WVVA-TV, here for you.